This is Hannibal from the HannibalTV.com. I listened to the Talk is Jericho podcast with former WWE superstar Dean Ambrose, who is now John Moxley. I listened to this podcast yesterday that's been making news all over the wrestling world, where Moxley explains why he left WWE, where according to Business Insider, he made $2.2 million last year to join AEW, where he is apparently signed a multi-year deal for an undisclosed amount. We do know that Chris Jericho signed the biggest contract of his life with AEW, and Jim Ross signed the biggest wrestling commentators contract in the history of commentary with AEW. So it's probably safe to say that the pay that Moxley will be making in AEW will be similar to what he made in WWE for a much lighter schedule. Basically, Moxley says in this podcast that the reason he left WWE is because he's been unhappy with the creative that he's had there for a long time, which I agree with him on. I stopped watching WWE well over a decade ago because I don't find it entertaining, and I don't think wrestling should have so much goofy comedy stuff in it. Wrestlers overall are not comedians. There are some that are funny, but overall they're wrestlers and they don't perform comedy well, and I don't think people watch wrestling for the most part for comedy. So I agree with him that he had issues with his creative, and I just don't feel bad for him because he made millions of dollars. Vince McMahon, as he mentioned, liked doing the goofy comedy stuff with him, gave him a push, put him on TV, got him over to the point where he is making millions a year and became the star that he has become. Now, he did make one complaint in there that I guess for his Shield send-off pay, he received, I guess, $500 for that show, and said that that is what a WWE extra makes. Well, I did get confirmation from someone in WWE that WWE extras pay are actually $250 a night, and of course they don't get any royalties, they don't get any downside guarantee contract pay, so that was maybe a low payoff for that night, but it was at least double what a WWE extra guy gets paid. And of course, he also has his downside guarantee contract. So I definitely agree with where he's coming from, but as a person who has been a bouncer since 2001, I retired from bouncing finally in 2017, making anywhere between $60 to $125 a night, dealing with bikers, gangs, crazy drunken people getting attacked for that kind of pay. I've also had jobs working with psychotic people in group homes, where I've had to deal with clients who have actually pissed and shit themselves, having to clean it up. Those type of clients also attacked me, making far less pay. I think at that job, the most I ever made for a full 24-hour day shift would have probably been under $250. So I don't feel bad for someone making millions a year having to do goofy storylines, but I do respect him for leaving that and trying to start something new, because wrestling definitely needs competition. I just think as like a regular person like I am, and I'm sure a lot of people listening out there have regular jobs, I don't feel too bad for a multi-millionaire having to do goofy things, because for $2.2 million a year, I do a lot of goofy things, and I'd love that opportunity. I was actually signed by WWE in 2009. He was signed by 2011. Unfortunately, I never had my contract go through because Abdullah the Butcher gave me hepatitis C and I failed the medical. So I never got my opportunity to prove myself or see if Vince McMahon would have taken a liking to me to give me that kind of push. So good for him for jumping to AEW. I just don't feel that bad for him. But I do wish him, Chris Jericho, all those guys, the best of luck in AEW, and I hope that wrestling overall gets better.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99 a month to watch our full shoot interviews ad-free and help our channel grow. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.